It is 10:30 p.m. on June 8, 2026. The sirens echoing through downtown Tel Aviv are suddenly drowned out by the force of a massive, localized impact. High-rise buildings tremble as shockwaves blow through city blocks. Shattering glass and metal shrapnel rain into the streets, inflicting immediate, fatal casualties on civilians who were simply standing in their own homes. This is the moment Israel's overlapping defense grid collapsed. The $3 billion Iron Dome and the advanced aero systems, the benchmarks for global air defense, failed to stop the barrage. For decades, the nation relied on these systems to keep the sky closed to incoming threats. That night proved that no defensive wall is permanent, and no shield is truly invincible. To understand why the shield broke, we have to look at the pressure placed on Iran over the previous year, during Israel's Operation Rising Lion. This satellite imagery shows the scale of the destruction at Iran's core nuclear facilities. In 2025, Israeli strikes targeted the Iranian facilities at Natanz and the research center in Isfahan, systematically dismantling the nation's nuclear program. The operations then shifted to the military's command structure. General Hossein Salami, head of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, was killed in a precision strike. The same campaign eliminated the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces, General Mohammad Bagheri. The ultimate breaking point arrived in February 2026, when an assassination strike took the life of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Though a ceasefire was signed in April, a subsequent Israeli strike on the southern districts of Beirut pushed a fractured and cornered Iranian military to deploy its most advanced weaponry. With the traditional architects of its military policy eliminated, Iran's remaining command structure abandoned its previous caution. The June 8th attack was designed to prove that the loss of their leaders would be answered by shattering Israel's sense of absolute safety. To see how this happened, we have to look at the foundational architecture of the Iron Dome. Iron Dome interceptors calculate the predictable parabolic paths of slow-moving rockets, plotting collision courses to future points. For larger ballistic threats, the aero system relies on a window of only 4 to 6 seconds to calculate an interception path. But on June 8th, Iran introduced the Fattah-1 and Fattah-2 missiles, weapons that do not follow the rules of a standard arc. This is a hypersonic glide vehicle. Traveling at Mach 15, it does not simply fall. It glides through the upper atmosphere and zigzags mid-flight, constantly shifting its altitude and trajectory. A defense system built on predictable physics is algorithmically incapable of stopping a target that changes its own destination every few seconds. The June 8th attack wasn't just a technical bypass. It was an exercise in pure, overwhelming volume across 3 distinct waves. This density of fire paralyzed the country's infrastructure. At Ben Gurion Airport, the rush of incoming projectiles caused mass panic and the total grounding of all flights. It also exposed a logistical reality that U.S. officials had warned about for months. Stocks of aero interceptors were already dangerously low before the attack even began. The final pressure point came from the south. Houthi rebels in Yemen launched a simultaneous third wave, forcing the defense computers to track threats from multiple geographical directions at once. When physical ammunition runs out and the technology is physically outpaced, even a $3 billion shield reaches its limit. Defense ministries around the world are now analyzing the wreckage in Tel Aviv, asking what this means for the future of sovereign security. In this specific conflict, the method of interception was defeated by the physics of hypersonic flight. The success of the Fattah missiles indicates that the advantage has shifted back to the side launching the strike, as current defenses struggle to catch up with this new speed. The events of June 2026 suggest that immense wealth and fixed technological barriers can no longer guarantee safety against a high-speed, maneuvering threat. So how does the world respond when the shield breaks? In our next episode, we detail Operation Epic Fury, the massive 900-strike counteroffensive launched by the US and Israel in the 12 hours that followed.